Hi, in this video I will talk about bank charges in Oracle Cloud, in account payables, account receivables, and cash management. So let's start. First of thing, what is a bank charges? Bank charges are the fees that a bank charges you for transferring funds from your disbursement bank account to the bank account of your suppliers. So you can negotiate with your suppliers whether to deduct the bank charges from an invoice payment, and you pay the bank at one of these rates. There are two rates, either standard or negotiated. So let's start in account payables. Just log into Oracle, go to setup and maintenance. We will start by how to apply bank charges in account payables. There are three setup steps you have to complete it before to check the status or before the system affected by the bank charge or starting to calculate the bank charges of your invoices and payments. First of thing is manage bank charges. Manage bank charge selected. Now I will search because I already defined one before. Either you define a new one or update or whatever. I will select the proper legal entity, search. This is my bank charge. First of thing, which legal entity and which currency. Settlement priority. Settlement priority, there are two types, either normal or express. These options or this list of values, it's appearing during make BPR, payment process request. I just here to mention that bank charges means deduct, means like a discount. So if you set up bank charges, you cannot take a discount on a payment or deduct bank charges from payment that you create using either create payment page or pay in full action on the create and edit invoice pages. It means bank charges is only apply for payment through PPR. Again, once you complete the setup, all the prerequisites setup of bank charges and create a payment, don't say that I create a payment through create payment page or through pay in full action on the invoice and the system not calculated or not deducted the bank charge amount, because it's only through PPR until now. Maybe in the futures or through what's in your cloud, maybe in the future will be through create payment page or through action pay in full on the invoice. The second part here, the bank details. In case you are make a payment, right? So this payment between two bank, transferring from bank of the organization, receiving the supplier bank. So you can also specific bank name, option, what blah blah blah. And for the receiving, like a bank supplier or the supplier of the banks, you can also select either a specific bank or all banks. This is depends on your requirement or business scenario. The bank charge, or the third part here, that bank charge details. First of thing, from date to date, this is active from what to what. What is the payment amount? Are you make these bank charges for specific amount of payment amount, for example from 1,000 to 10,000, from million to 2 million, whatever, from zeros, like this is my example. And what is the bank charge amount? There are two types, standard and negotiated. Before I told you that there are two rates, standard rate, negotiated rate. Standard rate means that bank charge or a standard bank charge is the typical rate that a bank charges you to transfer funds from a disbursement bank account to supplier bank account. For negotiated, a negotiated bank charge is a negotiated rate that you and your bank agree upon for the transfer of fund. So either it's like every time the bank charge amount is the same, like this is standard, or negotiated, this is the negotiation between you as an organization and your bank is your disbursement bank account. Again, it depends on your organization, business scenarios, and so on. So this is the first step. So again, you can also define a lot of bank charges with a different legal entity, with a different currency. This is the currency here is EGB, with a different settlement priority. You can define for one-to-one for the banks. A lot of bank charge depends on the bank, depends on legal entity. This bank charge for this amount range of payment, and this is for this bank charge for standard, the other for negotiated, and so on. And also here you can add more, that this is from date to date, this is from payment amount to payment amount, another one for a different rate, for a different date, for a different rate, for a different payment amount. You can delete, you can add, and so on. So this is the first step here for bank charge in account payables. Save and close. During make a save and close, the system validates everything is okay. There is no violates of dates, of amount, of rates, of bank, of legal entity, whatever. Save and close. It's done. So this is the first step. Second step is define payment option or set the bank deduction type of the payment option. Just go to manage payment option. Here select the scope. Scope means business unit. So if you have more than one business unit, you can select the proper business unit here. After that, select manage payment option. The bank charge here, the bank charge deduction type. Here we put what? Either normal, and here we put the rate standard, right? So here either standard, negotiated, or none. If you select none, it means that you not defined a bank charge, or you are going to not apply the bank charge. Standard means standard amount, negotiated means negotiated amount. So the same here, you put it in bank charge, you will put it here. Save and close. The third part here is the supplier. So again, set the bank deduction type of supplier, but supplier side. Go to procurement and suppliers. To get access for procurement and suppliers, there is one agent or manage agent. You have to create or assign your user to agent and put the options like I will create a supplier, I will update suppliers, I will create a purchase order, purchase requisitions, and so on. I will select my supplier. And you have to do the same with each supplier. This is my supplier. I go to sites, select the proper sites, edit. There are invoicing. In general, it will be open on general. Just to go to invoicing, go to down. You will find bank charge deduction type. We put it here standard. We put it in manage payment option standard. Again, we put it here standard. This is the first one. Also, you can go to payment. You can go to once you go to payment, it will open payment method. Just select payment attributes. You will find a change bearer code. Bearer code that who will pay the bank charge. Payee means supplier or party. Payer means organization. Okay, payable pay express charge, is it shared between payee and the buyer, and so on. So I will keep it as a buyer. Save and close. This is the prerequisites of applying bank charge in account payables. Now we will going to make actual practice. So I will go to, I will make what? I will make invoice, normal invoice with our suppliers. create an invoice, select our business unit, which you put it here. What is your suppliers, who you updated its supplier sites and the payment option, blah blah blah. What is the number? I will make 100 bank charge fees. Okay, I will put here, for example, 50,100. It means that once I complete the invoice and my PBR completed successfully and the payment formatted successfully, the payment will be 50,000 and the 100 will be calculated as what? As a bank charge amount, because I mentioned here 100. Okay, go to lines, select the amount, distribution combination, your expense account, whatever, any account, your segment values, and okay, go to right. You can also include specific tax rate, whatever. Save, validate, approved, create account, like any normal invoice. Come here, go to validate, check the validated or not. Again, once validated, you can just save and go to approval. This is force approval, like manual approval, but in actual case the user will make initiate still or waiting until got approved and complete the process. So I will make it force, save. After force you will find manually approved here, invalidated, so you can make either post or draft. I will create a post. For post here, the accounting entries will be like any normal invoice: debit, expense, credit, liability, or supplier account. There is no charges or bank charges here. Okay, after that, save and close. Now don't go to payment form, don't click to make pay in full, just go to payment and create BBR, submit payment to process request. So I will put the same bank charge fees template. If you have a specific payment through date, payment from date, from which date the system will select the invoices, the payment method. Do you have a specific supplier? Yes, I need only my suppliers. Then you can also select a specific payment group, business unit, legal entities. There are a lot of options here. And go to payment and processing. What is the disbursement bank account? From which bank account you will pay this amount to the suppliers, which BBB, either wire or either check, whatever, currency rate if it's in a different currency. Here, settlement priority. You remember this settlement priority? I told you either normal or express. So I will select here the same as normal. You select normal, here normal. What is the bank charge period? We selected buyer. Buyer mean organization. So I will select a buyer here. I need to review. I need to create payment file immediately. I need to also to review installment. Installment means once I submit it, the system will check all the invoices which is matching with my criteria. So I will come here and put 100 bank charges fees, still pending. You just click refresh or just give it 1 minute, 2 minutes to select the installment or give you error. There are two selected. Start the action. It's now appearing. It's tell you that there are two invoices. I will delete this invoice because I told the system what I told it to wait until I review the installment. Now this is a review installment process. I will keep this with the full amount without update anything. Submit. Submitted. So I can take it, copy. done. And again go to manage payment process requests, search by name or dates or whatever, and selected. So again we waiting the updating of the status, either error, pending, signing complete, document validated. Here pending post payment review action, just give a review. See here, amount 50,000, not 50,100. Why? Because the system checked that there are bank charges set up, there are bank charges rate assigned to the supplier sites, and also payment options. Again resume and done. Again go to manage payment, control V, still waiting. Pending payment approval, maybe it takes some times or it approved. But again, because I told you before that in case of you set up the approval of payment, here payment approval initiated, just go to action. You can terminate, but I will not terminate it. Just so let me log in by the other user to take the action. So again manage to check is it completed or not. Search, you find it's payment completed, formatted. Just click here to check the reference as a payment number, and go to down. This is invoice format, amount only 50,000. Go to down. This is a payment reference 227. So I can take a copy. You can view payment from here. If there any validation error, you can find down. This is the payment, bank details, document payables, invoices. Here the document amount 50,100, bank charge 100, amount to be paid only 50,000. It means that your setup is succeeded. You actually complete the setup without any errors, and the system is starting to calculate bank charge. If you come back to the payment through payment UI at the user interface, manage payment, search by reference, search and go to payment number. You can try to calculate accounting to check the accounting entries, either in draft or post. I will keep it in draft to check status. View accounting, you will find 3 lines: liability, cash clearing, and discount. Discount means is either you have to assign here like bank charge. For these bank charges, from where the system is bring it from bank account setup. Go to setup and maintenance. Just manage bank account and select the disbursement bank account which you already paid. I can keep it here for this one. If you remember, is this one. So go to this cash clearing, cash control, go to security, business unit, select the business unit to check the accounting. Here the bank charge, either from here, either from the manage payment options and invoice options and the commands. So this is the bank charge cycles, how to calculate it, how to just these are the cycles of bank charges in account payables. So let's me check the manage invoice options or manage common manage common and the same scope our payment. This is the discount there, which is appearing there of a charge account. So here you can make it charge account or whatever's to put it as charges, because from the beginning I told you that bank charges, it's a deduct, it's like a discount. So here you can either mention discount or bank charge account. Okay, طيب. This is the first part here from AB. Second part of AR, account receivables. The bank charges or account receivables that in Oracle Fusion receivables doesn't allow you to enter bank charges in the standard receipts. So in this case you have two scenarios. First scenario is create a miscellaneous receipt from account receivables. But before creating a miscellaneous receipt, you need to create a receivable activities, because the miscellaneous receipts between what? Between the receivable activity and the bank. So in this case you have to define a receivable activity. So in our case of the bank charge, I will define a receivable activity like bank charge with a type of miscellaneous cash. So I can navigate to setup and maintenance and receivable activity, manage receivable activities again. So I will check if there any bank charge is defined or not. If not, I will create a new one. For this, no, I will create a new one. Receivable activities. What is the business unit? What is the name? I will make bank charge fees. Description the same. Here the activities must be miscellaneous, because in miscellaneous receipt there is one is miscellaneous cash. Here are you going to tax without tax? This is up to you. What is the account? So here you can assign what? The account code of bank charge. I will select for example this, because I don't have account for bank charge, but in your case or actual you have to assign what? The proper account of bank charge fees. Okay, save and close. That's it. Now I told you that Oracle Fusion receivables doesn't allow you to enter bank charges in what? In the standard receipts. So through miscellaneous receipt only you can mention that. So I will create a receipt. I will change it from standard to miscellaneous. Business unit. And what is the receipt method? Either cash, check, whatever, and receipt number. For example, this one. What is the receivable activities? I will select what? Bank charge fees, which I defined before. Here you can, I will put minus or positive, whatever, the date, everything. The option here, you can mention the reference as a receipt, and you put it the actual receipt, whatever standard receipt. This is the only way to create bank charges from receivable. The first solution or the first workaround, create receivable activity bank charge fees, assign the proper GL account, make or create a receipt type as a miscellaneous. In the reference you can attach it the original receipts as a reference, that these receipts, for example, I created a standard receipt for 1,200, but I need to mention that these 200 of these receipts is going to bank charges. Okay, so the miscellaneous with the receivable activities, bank charges, the same. You can input what? The reference document, like initial receipts, remittance, payment number, etc. There are another use, the workaround solution is you have to select or create a receivable activity, but in this way with a different type. Just go to set up receivable activity, manage receivable activities, again create this one, and business unit the same. Here also bank charges, مثلا for example adjust. Here the type will be adjustment, okay, and associate the required bank fee distributions, whatever also you need it. For example this account, okay, and save and close. Now the example will be like this case. I will mention here for AR invoice. You will create one invoice with, for example, 1000 USD. The payment or AR receipts or whatever will be like 980. So after that you will make what? You will apply the payment to AR transaction, right? Once you apply this to this, there are remaining amount. The remaining amount will be what? 1000 minus payment. This is amount. In this case, for this remaining amount, you will save the invoice after you apply the receipts and come back to the invoice, go to actions, adjust, enter activity, our activity as a bank charge, and make it like it charges as a bank charge. For example, I am going to create invoice. AR billing and create invoice or transactions. Select our business unit because you defined before receivable activities related to which business unit, transaction and type and invoice class, everything, right? And supplier site name, payment term, normal invoice. Here I will mention the memo line, the service I provide to customer, and I will put 200. It's 2020. If I put 100, for example here 40, so for example 4008, or I can put it 2, so 2400. So in this case I will make a receipt with 2000 and apply it to this invoice, okay? After that I will come back again to this invoice and make action adjustment and select my activity as a bank charge. This bank charge is a receivable activity which I assigned the proper bank or GL account code of bank charge of this activity. Save. It will, I think, this distributions account. So action edit distribution, I think it's not defined, the auto accounting, so I will select the receivables, tax, whatever, for this one, okay, this, I just select any random account, revenue, again for, so I will others, for example, zeros, okay. For the tax you can select, because there is no tax, so I can select any expense, anything. For this, again sub account, okay, save and close. Try to save. It's saved, and you can try to complete and review to check is it completed or not. it's completed. Okay, so I will save and close. Okay, this is our invoice. Again, I will go to make a standard receipt. Normal process, create AR invoice, standard receipts, apply this to this, right? Again, come back to here and create a receipt standard for our business unit. Receipt method cash, check, wire, whatever, cash, and this is bank charge. Enter the amount. I told you 2000, right? Because the 400 will be bank charge. Okay, and this is our customer, the same customer. Sorry, this number here, the name, sites, everything. I will select the same sites so I can add open receivables. I didn't, just I keep it as it is and come here to select our invoice, add. Okay, this is 2400 as a reference amount. Just try to submit. Okay, I can come back to my receipts. You can try to create accounting or whatever, so equal today and search. This is one, so I will here what amount applied 2000 and unapplied, no problem. I will create post to ledger. I think there is nothing here added. Okay, maybe it's not saved or whatever, so I will complete it. Again, I can add open invoices, search, and this is my add, done. I will apply the amount 2000, so amount due on the invoice will be 400. Save. Again, I can come to post to ledger. Okay, save and close. You can again search to check it, is it applied or not. Total amount applied, the same amount of the receipt. Okay, now I will come back to my invoice and come back to AR receivable peeling, manage transaction or search by transactions, and date today, search and click on it. Now it's 2400. You can check first of thing the activities. You will find what only payment activity is assigned or applied to this AR transaction. You can also check the balance from here. There are the original amount 2400, the receipt total amount or amount applied is 2000, so the net or the balance due netting is 400. So you can try to post to ledger just to ensure that everything is okay, and again come back to action and manage adjustment. In manage adjustment, what we will do, we will add, but our receivable activities in this case will be what? Bank charge adjustment. What is the adjustment type? Is it charges? Is it adjustment? Is it invoice adjustment? Whatever, I will keep it. Here the system make adjustment amount what? The net or the remaining balance due of the invoice. You can make adjust as a charges or whatever, and this is what? This is the account of the bank charge which is assigned to the receivable activities during you define this receivable activity. Just submit to check everything is okay. Here I don't have approval adjustment, so I will log in by the users who have or has the approval of adjustment. So I will done, and I will let me log out. So I log in by my user, so I can go to receivables. These users have the approval of adjustment. So I will go to receivables. I don't know, in billing or manage account receivables, and go to here. I will find manage adjustment here, approve adjustment. In approve adjustment I will find what our invoice, so I can approve, reject, whatever. I will approve, comment, it's fine, submit, and done. Before of that, if I have set up in maintenance, I just need to remember or give you that there are setup of manage approve limit. Manage approve limit, yes. Okay, in manage approve limits you have to assign the username. For example, here I assigned my user, and I assigned the limit. For limit means what? You have to select the username. What is the document type of approval limit? In my previous case is adjustment, so I assigned here the adjustment and the range. For another example, if you remember the refund of AR receivables, you have also to set up approval limit. But here you cannot give the approval limit to your username, so you have to log in by a different username, or another username in your organizations must give you the access or the approval limit. So in my case here, for receivable activity adjustment, I give my user this range to allow me to approve what? To approve the adjustment. So I will either from these users or the other users come back to the billing and check the invoice, manage transactions by date, this one, search. This is our one, or our invoice, sorry. You can go to and make just save and go to action to check activities. You will find what? First activity as a payment receipts. The second one is adjustment. Adjustment in this case is a bank charge, and this is my comment, it's fine, and this is it's already approved, and this is applied. This is the two scenarios of how to apply the bank charge in receivables, either through miscellaneous receipts and mention the standard receipts, or through adjustment of the transactions through receivable activities with adjustment type. The accounting entries, as you know, that when you make a receipt applications, the debit will be cash related with a payment, for example 2000, and credit what? Receivable from invoice as a 2000. For the adjustment, the debit will be bank fees expense distribution related to the receivable activities of bank charge, which will be 400, and the credit receivable from invoice, which is 400. Third part in these videos is cash management. In cash management, the bank doesn't create a new statement line for bank fees. So once we create a receipt for the amount deposited and applied to the invoice will have a balance of the bank fee amount. For examples, that invoice 100, incoming wire transfer original amount is 100, bank fees of 25, receipt for example 75, cash application 75, invoice balance is 25. So how does cash management handle these scenarios? Bank charges in Fusion are recorded in cash management and flows directly to GL. It's not recorded, for example, in AR for our example. So again, you can also receipt will be recorded in AR as a created with 100. If there was a bank charges for $2, the bank statement will show two entries, right? One entry for 100 and the other with minus $2. So the $100 will reconcile and declare the receipt in AR. The $2 bank charge will go directly from cash management to GL as what? External CE transactions. Okay, this is the first scenarios, and also you can create bank statement transaction creation rules and account bank charges, fees for interest, whatever. For examples, here this is a document that how to create. Before I did one video for bank charges and rates and how to create the bank statement transaction creation rules. Those three these rules you can create one for bank charges like this. You can go to rules and create the rules with specific criteria. You can type the fee or charge or whatever. You can put the transaction code. After that you can select the field if you have identified criteria. Go to edit bank statement transaction creation rule to add whatever you defined, and after that you can assign the bank statement transaction rule to your bank account row control in the bank account. After that you can review unreconciled bank statements. If like this, in this case, if you have 2 lines or whatever, you will create the bank statement line 1, 2, blah blah blah, and you start to make what? To make a reconciliation. Run the auto reconciliation or perform manual reconciliations, and after that you have to create the bank statement transactions to let the bank create the external transaction of this bank charge. Depends on your bank statement transaction creation rule. After that you will find the log file that there is one number of external transaction created is 1. You will find the search for manage or review external transactions by bank statement. You will find one is reconciled and created. This is what? This is the transaction type of the bank charge. So this is and here as you see one line you already cleared with your AR receipts, AB payment, whatever. The second one which is created through cash management as external transactions, which is affected direct GL, because this transaction will transfer from cash management direct to GL. So I can also mention this or attach this in these documents, because also you can download it from Google or from Oracle support account. Just write the same topic here. You can download it and you can do it, and once you follow these steps one by one, it will be work with you. Good luck. Thanks for watching.